Hey everyone, welcome back to your favorite English podcast. I'm Emma, and I'm here with my amazing co-host, Mike.
Hey everyone, so glad to be here with you all. We're really excited about today's episode.
Yeah, we have a super helpful topic lined up for you today. How to make your English sound more natural. You know, instead of feeling like you're reading from a script or, trying to sound way too proper. Right, Mike?
Exactly. It's like when you're speaking English, but you accidentally go into formal mode, and suddenly it's like you're in some, business meeting or something.
Yes. And let's be real, we've all done it. I mean, I remember this time when I was trying to impress someone with my perfect English. I ended up saying something like, if it would be convenient, may I possibly... And I swear they just looked at me like, who talks like that?
Oh no, Emma, that's classic. I think we've all had those cringeworthy moments where we sound like, we're from another century or something.
Absolutely. It's so easy to get caught up in trying to sound correct, and then you just end up sounding kind of awkward and unnatural. But here's the thing. Sounding natural in English can actually make a huge difference in how comfortable and confident you feel when you're speaking.
Plus, when you sound more natural, people can relate to you more. It's like they can really connect with what you're saying, you know?
And that's why today we're going to share some tips, some tricks, and maybe even a few secrets to help you get that relaxed, natural English vibe. We'll cover everything from casual phrases to thinking in English to avoiding those textbook-style phrases we all fall back on sometimes.
Exactly. By the end of this episode, you'll have a whole toolkit of ideas to help you, just sound like yourself when you're speaking English.
All right, let's dive in and get started. So let's start with why sounding natural is, actually really important. I mean, it's not just about, not sounding awkward. There's a lot more to it.
Why sounding natural is important.
Absolutely. When you sound natural, it's like you're just having a regular conversation, and that can make you feel way more confident. Instead of overthinking every word, you can just, flow with it, you know?
Exactly. And sounding natural really helps with, connecting to other people, too. Like, if you're speaking with native English speakers, sounding more relaxed can make them feel, more comfortable around you. It's like they're not talking to a textbook. They're talking to a real person.
Yeah, nobody wants to feel like they're in an English class during a conversation. When you're using natural, everyday language, people get a sense of who you are. It's more about the vibe you bring to the conversation than just the words themselves.
Totally. And, it's not just for native speakers. When you sound natural, it's also easier to be understood, no matter who you're talking to. It's almost like, you're giving yourself permission to relax and just be yourself in English.
Yeah, I think sounding natural really brings out your personality, and that helps people relate to you. So, if you're listening and you sometimes feel stiff or robotic when you're speaking English, don't worry. We've got some great tips to help with that.
So, to give you all a sense of what we mean by sounding natural, here's our casual dialogue between Alex and Sarah as they figure out where to go for lunch. Listen closely for those casual phrases and fillers.
Sounds good. All right, here goes.
Hey, Sarah, I'm really hungry. Any idea where we should grab some food?
Good question. You feel like something quick, or are you in the mood for more of a sit-down kind of thing?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of want, something easy. Maybe a sandwich, but not, fast food or anything.
Yeah, I get that. There's that new deli around the corner. Benny's, I think?
Ah, Benny's. Yeah, I've heard good things. They do those fresh sandwiches, right?
Yep. And I think they even have some veggie options. I'm not sure, but I think they do soups, too, if you're in the mood for something warm.
Oh, nice. I could go for some soup. Do you think it'll be crowded?
Maybe. It's still pretty new, so it might be. But I bet if we go now, it won't be too bad.
Yeah, good point. All right, Benny's it is then. Let's go before the lunchtime rush hits.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go get some food.
So, that was Alex and Sarah. Notice how they used casual phrases, like Alex saying, I'm really hungry, instead of I am very hungry. They also used informal words like kinda and like, which make the conversation sound relaxed.
Yep, and even small fillers like oh, and you know. These things make a big difference in how natural the dialogue feels. Sarah also asked, "You feel like something quick?" Which is way more conversational than like, "Would you prefer a quick meal?"
Exactly. These little phrases make it sound like they're just chatting naturally. And notice they didn't overthink what they were saying. They just, went with the flow. It's like they're inviting each other into a comfortable space. Casual language can create that friendly vibe we all want.
Right. So when you're speaking, try adding in some of these casual words and fillers. It makes a big difference in how people feel when they're talking to you. And honestly, it takes the pressure off you too. You're just being yourself, not trying to sound perfect.
Techniques to sound more natural.
All right, so let's get into some specific techniques to help you sound more natural in English. The first one is about using casual conversational phrasing. Basically, it's about choosing relaxed language instead of sounding too formal.
Yeah, like let's take an example. Imagine you're saying, "I am going to get some coffee." That sounds, pretty straightforward, but also kind of formal. Instead, you could just say, "I'm going to grab some coffee." See the difference?
Exactly. It's a small change, but saying I'm going to grab instead of I am going to get makes it sound way more relaxed. You're still saying the same thing, but it feels more casual and friendly.
Yeah. So try to look for moments where you can loosen up your sentences like that. Use contractions like I'm, you're, or we're, and throw in casual words like gonna or kinda. These little shifts can make a big impact.
Perfect. Now, the next technique is to start thinking in English, not in your native language. I know it sounds, easier said than done, but when you think in English, it actually makes you sound less stiff.
Right. If you're thinking in your native language and translating, it can come out, well, a bit too direct or textbook. But when you think directly in English, you start using words and phrases that feel more natural in conversation.
And one way to practice this is by doing, mental exercises. For example, you could try narrating what you're doing in English as you go about your day. Stuff like, I'm gonna make some coffee now, or let's see, what should I wear today? Little things like that get your brain into the habit of forming sentences in English.
Exactly. It's a bit like training your mind to stay in English mode. And honestly, the more you do it, the easier it gets over time.
Now, on to the last point in this section, common challenges people face when trying to sound natural. One of the big ones is overthinking. It's super easy to, get stuck thinking, am I saying this right?
Definitely. And when you're overthinking, it can end up sounding kind of robotic or textbook formal, which is the opposite of what we're aiming for.
Yep. So instead of focusing on perfection, try to focus on being clear and relaxed. And remember, sounding natural is more about connecting with people than using perfect grammar. All right? Let's listen to our dialogue again.
Hey, Sarah, I'm, really hungry. Any idea where we should grab some food?
Good question. You feel like something quick, or are you in the mood for more of a sit-down kind of thing?
Oh, I don't know. I kind of want, something easy. Maybe a sandwich, but not, fast food or anything.
Yeah, I get that. There's that new deli around the corner. Benny's, I think?
Ah, Benny's. Yeah, I've heard good things. They do those fresh sandwiches, right?
Yep. And I think they even have some veggie options. I'm not sure, but I think they do soups too, if you're in the mood for something warm.
Oh, nice. I could go for some soup. Do you think it'll be crowded?
Maybe. It's still pretty new, so it might be. But I bet if we go now, it won't be too bad.
Yeah, good point. All right, Benny's it is then. Let's go before the lunchtime rush hits.
Sounds like a plan. Let's go get some food.
All right. So now that we've covered some techniques, we want to guide you through a quick exercise that you can try at home to, practice sounding more natural in English.
Tip of the day.
Yeah. So here's the idea. Think of a few simple sentences you'd normally say during the day, like, I'm going to make lunch, or I need to go to the store. Now, try saying them in a more casual way.
Exactly. So instead of, I am going to make lunch, you could say, I'm going to make some lunch. Or instead of, I need to go to the store, try something like, I gotta run to the store. Little tweaks like that can make a big difference.
And if you're not sure where to start, you can try practicing in front of a mirror. Just pick a sentence and say it a few different ways. Or, if you're up for it, practice with a friend, someone who can give you feedback or just listen.
Yes, and if you're on your own, even narrating what you're doing in English can help. Like, if you're making coffee, just say, "I'm gonna grab some coffee." It doesn't have to be complicated. Just keep it simple and natural.
And one last tip, don't worry too much about making it perfect. The goal here is just to get comfortable with casual phrases and relaxed language. The more you practice, the more natural it'll start to feel.
Right. So give it a try. And remember, this is all about building confidence and feeling like yourself in English. All right. So let's quickly recap some of the main tips we covered today. First, we talked about using casual conversational phrasing, like saying "I'm gonna" instead of "I am going to." Small changes like that can really help you sound more relaxed and natural.
Yep. And then we also talked about thinking in English to avoid sounding too stiff or formal. By keeping your thoughts in English, you can start using expressions that feel more natural in conversations.
Exactly. And we also went over some common challenges like overthinking. Remember, it's okay to make small mistakes. It's more about connecting with people than getting every word perfect.
So, try to incorporate these tips a little bit every day. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Just small moments where you're using English naturally can make a big difference.
And if you enjoyed today's episode, give us a thumbs up and leave a review in the comments. We'd love to know your thoughts and any feedback you have for us. Hearing from you helps us create even better content, so be sure to let us know what you think.
And, hey, before you go, don't forget to subscribe to our channel if you haven't already. Hit that bell icon so you'll get notified whenever we post a new episode.
And as always, thank you so much for listening and supporting the channel.
Yes, thanks so much for tuning in, everyone. Keep practicing, keep it casual, and we'll see you in the next episode. Bye for now.
Bye, guys.